Mbappe is not the biggest footballer on the planet, and he might not even be on your list of the top 10 football players of all time. Nonetheless, it is common knowledge that he is one of the finest in the game at the moment. A couple of years ago, he looked promising. However, right now, he is the player of the moment, and since the exit of CR7 and Messi from Europe, he is the best player on European soil. This is probably not news to you if you are a football fan. As much as you think you know Mbappe, trust me, there is a lot about the captain of the French national team you do not know. These are 10 things you didn't know about Mbappe. He is from a humble background. Like several footballers from various parts of the world, Mbappe is not from a family of means. He is from a humble background and was raised in a part of France you perhaps never knew existed because it was never talked about before he came on the scene. The prospective Ballon d'Or winner was raised in Bondy and grew up playing football on the streets. While it is not out of place for global superstars to come from humble backgrounds, Mbappe's rise to global stardom is such a big deal to residents of Bondy, so his success as a footballer is always celebrated in his town of origin. Beyond simply enjoying a lot of accolades for putting Bondy on the map of the world, the PSG striker is also known for taking several steps towards improving the lives of the residents of this little town. He is not only a great player, he is also a great soul. Mbappe came on the scene before the 2018 World Cup. As a matter of fact, that is one reason he was able to make it to the starting 11 of a star-studded French national team. Although to lots of people he came on the scene in 2018, the French player was already a star with his club. However, his performance with the French national team at the 2018 World Cup introduced him to the world. The Frenchman became famous after his exploits at the World Cup. Although getting famous was great, he was handsomely rewarded financially for his contribution to France's success at the 2018 World Cup. According to reports, Mbappe earned €20,000 for each game he took part in during the 2018 World Cup. In addition to this, he received €300,000 for ending the tournament with a gold medal. As a young player that was still on his way to the top, many expected the Frenchman to spend his money on himself. But he did something else. He spent about €400,000 on charity. He could have played for 3 countries. Mbappe is currently the captain of the French national team. This obviously points to the fact that he plays for France. The average person might believe that he was only eligible to play for France. However, like other players that have represented the French national team at different times, Mbappe could have played for other nations apart from France. His father is from Cameroon. If this is anything to go by, he could have represented Cameroon at international tournaments instead of France. That's not all. His mother is from Algeria, so he was also eligible to play for Algeria. Well, it is what it is. The world has only seen Mbappe put on the colors of the French national team at international tournaments, so it is even impossible to imagine him playing for another nation. He is the youngest player in Monaco's history. When thinking of Mbappe, the average person would simply associate him with PSG as he became a global superstar playing for the Paris-based club. However, he was already a big deal before moving to PSG. Mbappe made his debut for Monaco in 2015 at the young age of 16. With this, he became the youngest player in the history of the French club. That's not all. In addition to making his debut at such a young age and breaking Henry's record, Kylian went on to score his first senior goal the next year. In the process, he broke another record held by the Arsenal legend. Although Mbappe was not very popular while playing for Monaco, his exploits as a Monaco player earned him a move to PSG, where he became a global superstar. He went on trial at Chelsea. Football fans all over the world are used to Mbappe putting on PSG's blue color and playing in the French capital. However, it did not exactly seem like his dream was to play in the French capital. One could easily say Mbappe was looking forward to living in London and playing for Chelsea. Although this dream never came to fruition, he made moves at joining the English team in 2012. As a youngster, Mbappe visited England for a trial with Chelsea, but things didn't work out. It is surprising how the coaching staff at Chelsea did not think he was good enough to play for the West London club. This is because, after about a decade, he is considered better than the present crop of Chelsea players, and perhaps even better than any player that has represented Chelsea at any time. After his first trial did not end the way he had anticipated, Chelsea told the young player to try another time. However, he did not go back to England as his mother felt he was good enough to make the team but wasn't picked simply because the coaches couldn't see his potential. Mbappe is the fastest player on the planet. You have most likely seen Mbappe beat several players by simply dashing past them, so you are definitely aware that he is a fast player. Well, the PSG striker is not just a very fast player, he is the fastest football player of this generation. Now, this is where things get interesting. The world might not be surprised that Mbappe is the fastest player in the world. However, what is surprising is that he is arguably as fast as Usain Bolt, who is generally regarded as the fastest man alive, at least going by records. In 2019, the Frenchman once moved as fast as 23.61 miles per hour. This is obviously the fastest any player in the generation has done. However, it was also faster than Usain Bolt's speed in 2009. Away from simply running fast and chasing long balls, Kylian also dribbles very fast, so when he is not beating his opponents with his pace, he is dribbling past them very rapidly. He is from a family of athletes. Kylian Mbappe is currently the most famous person in his family. The reason for this is obvious. He is an accomplished sportsman. Interestingly, he is not the only sportsman in his family. Kylian's mom used to be a handball player and played in the 1990s. Additionally, his father played professional football for a football club in Bondi. So, it is obvious that the skills he displays have a thing or two to do with his genes. Away from his parents for a moment, Kylian's siblings are also sportsmen. He has an adopted brother that plays football. Also, Ethan, his younger brother, plays for PSG. However, he has yet to feature for the senior team. Ethan might be very talented. Regardless of this, he does not play like his elder brother. He is a midfielder, so you might not exactly catch him running very fast and chasing long balls. Not many people have seen him play, so it is impossible to say how good he is and how fast he will make it to the top. Nonetheless, like the Hazard brothers, we hope to see Kylian and Ethan play together. This seems quite unlikely at club level, as Kylian might be out of PSG soon, but there is a possibility of them playing together for France. The world can only hope Ethan is good enough to earn a call-up to the French national team. He is the only active footballer with a hat-trick in a World Cup final. Mbappe announced himself to the world in the 2018 World Cup, and while many might have thought he was done with World Cup business, he proved everyone wrong when he had an amazing 2022 campaign in the 2022 World Cup held in Qatar. As much as his performance at the World Cup will never be forgotten, Kylian did something extra special when he scored 3 goals in the final match between France and Argentina. Although his goals were great and kept his team in the game, they were not good enough to help them win against an Argentina side led by the magical Lionel Messi. The world will not forget all that Kylian did at the 2022 World Cup in a haste. As much as other tournaments will come and the world might eventually forget about him, his hat-trick in the World Cup final will always be remembered. Only a few players have more World Cup goals than Mbappe. Still in the World Cup, Mbappe is on the list of top 10 players with the most goals at the World Cup. In the last World Cup, he scored 8 goals. With this, he equaled Ronaldo's record of 8 goals in one World Cup. In addition to scoring 8 goals in the 2022 World Cup, Kylian has scored a total of 12 World Cup goals and is behind just 5 players on the list of players with the most World Cup goals. He lags behind Lionel Messi with just 1 goal, and Germany's close by 4 goals. With this, it is only a matter of time before the PSG striker becomes the player with the most World Cup goals. A great performance in the next World Cup might be all that he needs to become the player with the highest number of World Cup goals. He is one of the most followed people on the planet. As a footballer that has made a success of his career in a relatively short while, Kylian Mbappe has several people following him. He is not the most followed sportsman at the moment. However, no one in France has more followers than he does, and with a likely move from PSG to Madrid, his fan base will most likely increase significantly. Thanks for going all the way with this video. Do you find any of these details shocking? Please let us know in the comment section below. Also, hit the like and share buttons if you are yet to do so. See you in the next video.